Okay, to multiply and divide fractions is actually even easier than adding and subtracting. Much easier. If I have a number like let's say 1/2, and I'm going to multiply that by 3/4. Okay, to do this, it's really straightforward. I don't worry about anything about common denominators, anything like that. All I do is I multiply the numerators, so the tops, and I multiply the denominators or the bottoms, and that's basically it. So if I'm going to go 1 times 3 is the numerator, which is 3, and 2 times 4, which is 8, and that can't be reduced anymore, and so that's my final answer. You can do this as many times you want. You can say, well, what is 5/7 times 2/5? And this one here is going to be, well, 5 times 2, the top, will give me 10, and the bottom is 7 times 5, which gives me 35. Now this can be reduced, and because 10 and 35 both have 5 in common with it, this can be reduced to 2/7. Now I could have avoided this before, of course, if I would have spotted right here that this can be 1 and 1, and it would become 2/7, the exact same thing. But you may not spot it before, and you can just reduce it at the end. But it ends up becoming 2/7. It's that easy to multiply, and dividing is no more difficult. I'm just going to erase this here for a moment. If I look at dividing here, and I'm going to take this first one here and just suppose I want to divide this instead. So this won't be the answer now, but I want to divide 1/2 divided by 3/4. Well, let me first explain what division is. Division really is inverse multiplication. In other words, if I'm going to have a number of like 2/3, okay, if I have 2/3, and I want to divide that number by 3, I want to divide that number by 3. It's really the same thing, okay, if this is 3 right here. Remember that this is really 3 over 1. And so dividing this number right here, 2/3 by 3, is really the same thing as multiplying it by 1/3. Okay, now there's the reciprocal of this is 1/3. And again, reminding you that when we do multiply, you end up getting 2 times 1, which is 2, and 3 times 3, which is 9. Now going back to my other example here, the previous one, this one here, 1/2 divided by 3/4. Again, you probably have learned this already, but the second term right here, you can inverse, okay, or you can write the reciprocal of it, in which case it would be 1/2, and I'm going to write times, and it would be 4/3. So in other words, 4/3. So it's just like the multiplication. You just have to, one extra step is take the second term, and I guess you can call it flip it, but when you do that, you end up getting 1 times 4, which is 4, and 2 times 3, which is 6, and again, that can be reduced to 2/3 because 2 goes into both of those numbers. It's that easy to multiply and divide. All you do is turn any division into a multiplication question, and you just multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators, and it's that straightforward. Just don't get it mixed up with adding and subtraction, because you're going to start doing some weird things of cross multiplying and all that. Just remember the two separate rules for the operations shown.